Hi guys, whenever you think of clowns, which one is the first one that comes to mind? For me, it's always Pennywise, the dancing clown. Now here I could have made a joke like, you're the first clown that comes to mind, but that would have been too easy, and I'm above that. With the story of it being told in multiple ways, such as the old and new movies, the TV drama, and of course the original novel, it's no wonder why he's the first one that comes to mind. He's just too damn iconic. But when there are multiple ways to tell a story, one adaptation is going to shine above the rest. And to no one's surprise, it's the original book by Stephen King. But why is this liked so much more? Is it because the book is more detailed than the other films? Or is it because Georgie swears way too much for a 6-year-old? I didn't read the book, these questions aren't rhetorical. Thankfully, I have Computer B to force feed me the Spark Notes. And before we get started, I'd just like to point out that I'll be comparing scenes from the book to It Chapters 1 and 2 for a more polarizing comparison. Alright, time to see Stephen Hawking's raw vision for It. What the fuck is this? What are you looking at? Now that I've gone through the 5 stages of grief, let's talk. I feel like the best way I could think of doing this is by starting off with some of the more tamer scenes of the book that aren't present in the movies and working our way to the more zealous scenes. And at the end we'll see if the movies are truly better without these scenes. If they are, everyone just idolizes Stephen Douglas for his work. The first scene I want to look at is when Mike stumbles across a bloody pocket knife. In this scene, Mike stumbles across a bloody pocket knife. Shit. And the blood on this knife reminds Mike of the time he broke into an abandoned building, got chased out by cops, and got 4 years of juvenile detention. I'm playing he just explored an abandoned building. While he was in this abandoned building, he was reminded of a movie he saw with his dad. And it sucked balls! Easy 40 on Rotten Tomatoes. It sucked so bad that Mike started to imagine the main monster from the movie stalking him from the shadows. Eventually, Mike stumbles across this big-ass bird. The bird starts chasing Mike. Mike starts attacking the bird starts doing Pennywise things. Mike says he's gonna keep on attacking the bird unless it flies away, and eventually the bird flies away. You know, your typical abandoned building experience. Now, this scene is completely cut in the movies, and honestly, I can't understand why. It's good character development for Mike, and it's not like the scene would have been impossible to shoot or anything. Plus, it shows how it can manipulate children's fears to get into their heads. That's a womp-womp for the movies. The next scene I want to cover is the Bradley Gang shootout, because no adaptation is complete without the Bradley Gang shootout. In the book, Mike is interviewing a guy by the name of Mr. Keene. Why? Couldn't be bothered to know why. Get to the gang violence already. Mr. Keene tells Mike that back in 1929, there was a gang owned by a certain Al Bradley, who was hiding out in Derry from the FBI. You know this guy's gonna get smoked already just from his name alone. Al Bradley is just such a shootable name. You know what? I'm gonna go shoot one right now. Oh shit! Where are you running to, bud? Apparently these guys thought it'd be a good time to go hunting while they were laying low, so they stopped laying low to go buy ammunition from a sporting goods store. Obviously, the owner of the store noticed them and told the entire town that they were going to go back to the store to pick up ammunition. And when they did, oh boy, the entire town just straight up smokes the entire gang. Just straight up. Not a man, woman, or child by the name of Al Bradley was left alive. Straight up firing squad execution. Absolutely hilarious that they were this dumb. Oh yeah, and Pennywise was there shooting, didn't cast a shadow. But who cares? Grandma's shooting gang members. The movie is not this event in multiple ways, but they never do get as deep as Keene did back in the book. I feel like this would have been an unnecessary addition to the movies, but it would have been highly enjoyed. So by those terms, that's another point for the books. Okay, next scene. The creeping eye? Oh, this gonna get weird fast, I know it. The creeping eye appears when the losers first descend into Pennywise's lair. Pennywise assumes the form to terrify Richie. And it's just this big eye with like tendrils that should connect to the brain, and they're just flying around like grabbing at the kids and shit. What the fuck? The eye starts to pull a few of them in, but Eddie, like a badass, sprays his aspirator at the eye, and like a whack-ass, starts screaming that it's battery acid. Apparently, the eye believes him, and the aerosol has the same effect as battery acid. This gives Richie the opportunity to stand up, punch the eye, and the eye goes away. Apparently, the eye feeds off of the loser's fear, and when that fear was cut off from the eye, it left him vulnerable. The creeping eye is only hinted at in the movies through background dialogue, and I feel like this would have been a great opportunity for Richie to be brave and give him that much needed character development. So in short, that's another point for the book. Man, Steve-O is starting to persuade me. Maybe the book is the most praised adaptation. I hope these last two seeds don't change my mind. Now we can't talk about the book without talking about the original ritual of Chud. Now if you don't know what that is, take the movie's version of the ritual, mix it with Disney-branded narcotics, and you have the original ritual. In a fight with Pennywise's true form, Bill gets hit with the Void Eyes and starts levitating like he's talking to God himself. That's because he is, and God's a turtle. In the book, a turtle is essentially God. Now if you think that's fucked up, here's how he introduces himself. I'm the turtle's son. I made the universe. But please don't blame me for it. I had a bellyache. Okay. Bill begs for the turtle to help them, but the turtle hits them with that "I believe in you" baloney, and the kids eventually defeat it. Stevie Wonder's starting to lose me. In my opinion, you can't just drop Turtle God out of nowhere and expect it to fly. Finally, the movies get a point for not having this LSD nightmare. Now for the last scene I want to talk about, we're going to be talking about that scene. That scene. The scene that made me throw Bob Marley across the room. Now if you're unfamiliar, let me try my best, my utmost best, to summarize what happens in the cleanest terms possible. Cheese pizza hanky-panky. I don't even think I could say that. After the kids defeat Pennywise and he goes into witness protection for 27 years, the kids decide to celebrate with a pizza party of sorts. I feel like I need to ask this. Stephen Curry, are you okay? Were you okay? I can only imagine how this scene went down with Warner Brothers. Stephen, I don't know if adult actors could save this scene. Why are you advocating for it so much anyway? This scene gets rightfully replaced at the end of Chapter 1 with the Blood Pact. And I feel like without question, the movies get another point. That's 3 for the book and 2 for the movies. Congratulations, book nerds. Steven Spielberg proved the book superior. Even with those 2 funky parts in the book, I feel like the book just does a better job telling the story of it. The characters are more developed, and, in my opinion, are more interesting than they are in the movies. And now you know why It the Novel is placed as high as the Holy Bible. Its uncut scenes add way more to the story and to the characters than the movies ever could. And I didn't even cover all the uncut scenes. I was just lazy and did like 5, and it still proved my point. But with that being said, it's not like the movies are bad in any way, it's just its own flavor of it. You read the book for its moments, you watch the movie for its moments. The book has its strengths and weaknesses, the movies have their strengths and weaknesses. It's unfair that some people just label the movies as just downright bad just because the book does more things for the plot. But with that being said, the book is better because it has more shit going for it. Stay safe, eat cake, and I'll see you later.